Hello everyone. Today I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for you listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called "Nothing is Free," and it will show you that hard work and determination can change lives. There was a young man named Jiro, 20 years old, living in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains. Leo had a big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurant and become a successful entrepreneur. But life wasn't easy for him. Leo's family was struggling financially. His father, Mark, was a mechanic, and his mother clearly cleaned houses to make ends meet. Leo's younger sister, Sophie, was just 10 and looked up to him as her hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside his small house staring at the stars. He whispered to himself, I want to give my family a better life, but how do I start when we barely have barely survived? The next day, Leo shared his dreams with his father. Mark sighed and he said, Leo, dreams are not free. If you want to something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small. Leo thought deeply about his father's words. Then an idea struck him. He noticed that in his town, people loved fresh bread but had to travel to break far away. He decided to start selling fresh bread locally. But there was a problem. Leo had no money to buy the bread. He decided to take a chance and approach the bakery's owner, Mr. Anderson. Leo walked miles to meet Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who really trusted anyone. With confidence, Leo said, Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have money to buy and trap. Can you trust me for one week? I will sell the bread, return your money, and keep a small profit. Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow. And why should I trust you, young man? Leo replied firmly, because I am determined and I will work hard to prove myself. After a long pause, Mr. Anderson said, all right, I'll give you bread for you one week. If you fail to pay me back, don't bother coming here coming in. Leo was thrilled. Early the next morning, he carried the bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted every Perth Park. Leo thirdly early the next morning he carried the bread back to his town and set up small stand the park. ठीक है stand the park. He greeted every passerby with energy and smile, saying fresh bread, warm and delicious, and delicious, and warm and delicious. At first, people were hesitant. They didn't know if the bread was good. But Leo offered free samples and soon earned his first customer. By the end of the day, he had sold all the bread and small profit. The evening he returned to Mr. Anderson and paid him back. The old man nodded and said, you kept your word. Come back tomorrow. From then on, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up 4 a.m., awoke the bakery, carried the bread to his town and sold it with passion. After 2 months, he had saved enough money to buy a small cart, making it easier to transport more bread. One day, a customer suggested Leo, why don't you bake your oven bread? You are good at selling. What if you bake you more profit? This idea excited Leo, but it also scared him. He had never baked anything in his life. This was the moment where Leo realized nothing is free, not success, not knowledge, not growth. If I want to success, I must take risks and learn. Leo couldn't stop thinking about the ideas of the breaking his own bread. If he could break, he wouldn't have to rely on Mr. Anderson and his profit to grow. But there was one big problem. He didn't know how to bake. Leo tried to Mr. Anderson for help the next morning. After revealing his payment, Leo said, Mr. Anderson, can you teach me how to bake? The old man, for why should I teach you? I wake you. If you wake, you want to buy for me anymore. That's bad for my business. Leo looked at him and said, "You are right, but I won't forget the man who gave my first son. If I succeed, I make your shirt to. If I succeed, I will make share to help your bakery too." Mr. Anderson thought for a moment, then said, "Fine, but baking isn't easy. It takes time to patience and hard work. If you are ready for that, I'll teach you." The lesson began early the next morning. Leo arrived at the bakery at the 3 a.m. before the sun was up. Mr. Anderson showed him how to mix flour, knead the dough, and bake it perfectly. At the first, Leo struggled. His hands hung from kneading, and his bread come out too hard or too soft. One day, after running another batch of bread, Leo sat down, feeling defeated. He said to himself, "Maybe I'm not good enough for this. Maybe I should give up." But then he remembered his father's words, "Dreams are not free." He realized that every mistake was teaching him something new. Giving up was not an opinion. The next the next day, Leo went to the bakery with Evan determination. He practiced every single step carefully. Slowly, his bread started improving. Slowly, his bread started. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson handed him a loaf and said, "This is perfect, Leo. You are ready." Leo was overjoyed. He rented a small oven and baking bread at home. His family was amazed by hard work. Sophie, his little sister, helped him pack the bread, and mother made tea for him while back into night. Soon, Leo wasn't just selling bread; he started making cookies and patties too. People in the town loved his products. They said Leo bread tasted better than anything we have had before. We had before. But success wasn't easy. One day, a new bakery opened in the town, run by a young man named Eric. Eric had a big fancy shop with colorful signs and decorations. People were curious and started buying from him instead. Leo noticed his sales dropping. He felt scared. What if he, dropping? But he lost everything he worked so hard for. What instead of panicking, Leo decided to improve. He listened to his customer and asked, "What do you like about Eric Bakery? What can I do better? What can I do better?" Some said Eric's shop looks clean and pretty. Others said his cakes have beautiful designs. Beautiful designs. He realized he needed to grow, not just a bake, but as a businessman. Using his saving, Leo painted his cart, added bright decoration, and started offering free samples of his new pastries. He even learned how to decorate cakes by watching videos in the library. Slowly, customers returned to him. One evening, an elderly woman came to Leo and said, "I have been many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That why we trust you." Her words filled Leo with pride. Months passed, and Leo's business grew. He saved enough money to rent a small shop. It wasn't a big Eric's, but it was warm and welcoming. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakeries. Every morning he woke up before sunrise, baked fresh bread, and opened his shop with a smile. His parents and sister helped him. Sophie, no 11, loved talking to customers and clearly managed the accounts. But Leo knew wasn't the end of the journey. He wanted to reach more people, make his family proud, and prove himself that anything is possible with hard work. Leo Bakery, Fresh Bakes, was becoming the heart of town. People loved his fresh bread, cakes, and pastries. Business was growing, and his family was proud of him. But life wasn't done testing Leo. One stormy night, as Leo was closing his shop, he noticed smoke coming from the bakery. He rushed inside the saw that a small fire had started near the other. He quickly grabbed water and managed to stop the flames, but much of his equipment was damaged. Thus, not the next morning. The next morning, when the townspeople heard about the fire, they come check it home. Some said, "Oh no, what will you do now?" Other whispered, "Maybe this is the end for him." Leo felt heartbroken but not defeated. He stood outside his bakery and said, "This is just a challenge. I have faced struggle before and I will face it too. I won't give up." He took a deep breath and began making a plan. He calculated how much money he had saved. Money realized it wasn't enough to replace all the equipment. For a moment, fear gripped, but Leo remembered his journey. How he started with nothing but a dream and hard work. Instead of sitting worrying, Leo asked for help. He approached Mr. Anderson, who had retired, and said, "Sir, I need advice. What would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled and said, "Leo, you already know the answer. You have taught yourself nothing is free. Work harder, believe in yourself, and people will in you too." Inspired, Leo decided to rebuild. He didn't someone rescue him. He started waking at home again with little equipment he had left. He told his customer, "I want to let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's just small amount for now." The townspeople admired his courage. Many of them started helping him. Some donated ingredients, others gave small amounts of money, and a few offered to two townspeople admired his courage. Many of them started helping. Some donated ingredients, others gave small amounts of money. Ingredient and few offered their time to help him clean repair the bakery. Leo realized something important: when you work hard and never give up, people notice. They want to help someone who helps themselves. After months of hard work, Leo reopened his bakery. It was better than ever. He painted the walls, added new decorations, and even introduced new items like cupcakes and cupcakes from the walls and new decorations. He introduced items, muffins. His customer was overjoyed. On the day the great reopening, the mayor and said, "You, Leo, you are a true inspiration. Leo, inspiration. You've shown up us all with you have shown us all that with determination. Anything possible. Leo stood in front of the crowd and said, I want to thank each one of you. You have taught me that nothing in life is a free success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned with hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you. Or every challenge is a just us. Just ev- every challenge is just a step to something greater. Something greater. Something greater. From that day, Leo Vakri didn't just celebrate, become a symbol of hope. People from other towns start visiting to meet the young man who never give up. Leo's story teaches us that dreams are not free, require hard work and sacrifice. Failure is not end; it's chance to learn and grow stronger. Help yourself first. When people see your effort, they will support you. Never give up. Never give up. The darkest moments are often just before success. Leo didn't just build a bakery, he built a life full of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you, whatever your dreams is, don't stop chasing us. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible.